ready to dive deep. Today, we're exploring self-discovery through Bevy Smith's TED Talk.
Yeah.
She went from, like, fashion executive to media star.
Interesting.
And her story, like, super inspiring if you're thinking about change, or chasing dreams no matter how old you are.
It is funny how we always say, like, find yourself when we're young.
Right, like, you figure it out in your 20s and you're done.
Exactly. But Bevy's like, nope, it's a journey.
Yeah, she actually calls herself a late bloomer.
I think Chris Rock even called her that once.
She was killing it in fashion, but, something was off.
Yeah.
At 38, she quit her dream job.
Oh.
Makes you think, right? How many of us stay in things that look good, but, like, deep down?
It's easy to get stuck,
Yeah.
going through the motions.
Yeah.
Bevy talks about that, not being her true self.
It takes guts to walk away from success. Like, what if everyone quit their jobs?
Oh, no, not like that. More like recognizing when you're settling.
Oh.
And then, like, taking steps. Align your life with what you actually value.
Could be small changes.
Right. Hobby, new routine.
I like that. So for Bevy, her mom, Lolly, was huge. Lolly was, like, unconventional, kept her maiden name, worked while married.
Oh.
Even her cooking was unique back in the 60s, total trailblazer.
Definitely. She was like, I'm independent, no matter what society says.
And her view on aging, so refreshing. She said, you may not tell your age, but your hands and neck will.
I love that.
Totally honest. Bevy challenges that fear of aging, though. The one everyone has.
It's weird how many young people are searching for meaning online.
Right, like on social media.
Baby's like, find your own rhythm. Don't just dance to someone else's TikTok.
Makes you think about all that external validation stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe looking inward is better than needing everyone's approval.
That's key. Self-awareness and acceptance. Bevy's all about that.
How do we even start untangling who we are from all that outside noise?
Well, even Bevy had bumps. She had this bitchy Bevy phase.
Oh, yeah, in fashion.
Yeah, like a persona for that world.
We all do that, right? Like, I'm way more chill with friends than at work events. But when is it bad?
Good question. Personas help us navigate stuff.
Yeah.
But they can't overshadow who we really are.
Like wearing a mask too long?
Exactly. You forget what's underneath.
That's bitchy Bevy. Success but lonely.
We gotta check in with ourselves.
So how do we break free? Bevy's got this thing. Take a note, give a note.
Interesting.
It's for dealing with envy. Really smart.
So instead of feeling bad when someone else succeeds,
Yeah.
she stops and thinks.
Wait, walk me through that taking note part. Is it writing or like in your head?
Both. You analyze your feelings.
Okay.
Instead of, I'm jealous, it's, do I even want this? Is there a different path for me?
Shifting from like scarcity to abundance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then give a note,
Right, so you congratulate the person.
Could be a little congrats online.
Yeah.
Or a call. It's huge.
Choosing to celebrate instead of feeling less than.
Yeah.
So mature. Okay, Bevy's got these 3 questions to help us uncover our true selves. First one, who am I at my core?
Whoa. That's deep. It's about those core values, beliefs.
It's like peeling back the layers, but it's hard, right?
Yeah, think about when you felt most we knew. What were you doing? What mattered then?
Looking for those patterns.
Exactly. And it might not be glamorous.
Okay, next question. How am I being perceived? Now, this is scary.
Yeah, getting outside ourselves is tough.
Like a mirror, right? Gotta be honest, even if we don't like it.
And remember, perceptions aren't always right.
True. But seeing how we come across, that's valuable.
It could be a surprise.
Okay, last question. How would I like to be perceived?
This is the exciting part. It's about that ideal self.
Like a roadmap for growth, but not just achievements, right?
It's about the qualities we want to have.
Bridging that gap between who we are and who we want to be.
Exactly. A constant process.
So Bevy's answers to these questions: authentic connection, curiosity, adventure, kindness, big dreams.
She's got it figured out.
I love that she puts real connection over superficial success.
It's inspiring to see someone so comfortable in their own skin.
We can all do that.
Yeah.
And it's never too late to start. Wow, we covered a lot.
We did.
Next time we'll dig into Bevy's transformation and all the lessons learned along the way. Okay, so we're back. And I keep thinking about Bevy like ditching this awesome fashion career to follow her heart. It's kind of scary, but cool, right?
It is. It's like she didn't have it all figured out, It's a real process of figuring things out and making mistakes.
Like she talks about this bitchy Bevy phase. It sounds harsh.
Right. But think about it. It was probably necessary in that world.
Yeah, like fashion is intense.
Super competitive.
Yeah.
You kind of have to play a role.
But what if that role isn't really you?
It's tricky. We all do it to some extent. like different masks for different situations.
Oh, totally.
But you got to notice when the mask is like suffocating you, when it stops you from being real.
So bitchy Bevy was like that for her.
It sounds like it brought success, but no real joy.
So then how do you break free?
Well, leaving that world helped. But she also did some inner work. Remember that take a note, give a note thing?
Oh, yeah. That's genius. Turning envy into something positive.
When she'd see someone else succeeding,
Yeah.
she'd stop and examine those feelings instead of just stewing in them.
But how does that taking note part actually work?
Okay, so she asked herself 3 things. First, is this even something I truly want?
I feel that sometimes we want things just because they look good.
Exactly. Second question, is this other person maybe just better suited for this?
Like recognizing their strengths.
Yeah. And third, is the universe pushing me in a different direction?
Whoa, I like that. It's like trusting the journey even if it's confusing.
Totally. And then you give a note.
So you congratulate the person you're jealous of.
It could be small, just acknowledging their win. It shifts your mindset.
From scarcity to abundance.
Yeah, it's powerful.
Uh,
And it feels good to celebrate other people.
You've tried this.
I have. It really does work. You focus on the positive.
It's like choosing gratitude over resentment.
Yeah, Bevy's onto something with this whole ritual.
So powerful. Turning envy into growth. Okay, let's talk about those 3 questions for self-discovery. The first one, who am I at my core?
Man, that's a big one. It's about figuring out those deep down values and beliefs.
Stripping away all the layers we've built up.
But how do you do that?
Yeah, it's tough.
Think about times you felt most alive, truly yourself. What was happening? What mattered?
So we look for those patterns.
Right. And what you find might surprise you.
Okay, question 2. How am I being perceived? This one's kind of scary.
It is. It's hard to get out of our own head.
Like holding up a mirror.
And you can't just ask everyone for their opinion.
True.
But you can pay attention. How do people react to you? Do they engage? Seek you out?
Okay, so like reading those subtle cues.
Exactly. And if you do ask for feedback, choose wisely. People who will be honest but kind.
Someone who wants you to grow.
Right.
Yeah.
And remember, perceptions can be wrong. But you learn from them. You adjust.
Okay, last question. How would I like to be perceived? Now we're talking.
This is the fun part. It's dreaming big.
Yeah. But it's more than just like, I want to be rich.
Yeah, it's deeper. What qualities do you want to embody? What kind of impact do you want to make?
It's a roadmap for being your best self.
Exactly. And it's not about reaching some finish line. It's about the journey.
Bevy's answers were cool. Authentic connection, curiosity, adventure, kindness, big dreams.
She's got her priorities straight.
She's living proof that it's possible
Yeah.
to be successful and true to yourself.
And it's never too late.
Well, we've covered a lot, but there's more to Bevy's story. In part 3, we'll talk about her transformation into her beviest self. Okay, so we're back. We left off talking about Bevy finding herself. And she has this phrase, beviest self. It's like the ultimate version of her. What's that all about?
Well, she's not talking about being perfect.
Yeah.
It's more like being unapologetically herself.
Mm-hmm.
Like full of life.
Mm-hmm.
Bold, tells it like it is.
But not mean. Right.
She says, with a ladle of love, always.
I love that. So it's honesty, but with good intentions.
Exactly. Being real but kind,
Sounds like she's found that balance. And it seems like it's working for her. She's happy, right?
Totally. She talks about this new energy, like she's finally doing what she loves, and she's okay with being alone sometimes.
It's like when we hide who we really are, we might succeed, but is it worth it if you're not happy?
Right. Bevy's story is saying be yourself. That's where the real good stuff is.
So being beviest is about aligning your actions with what you believe in. Like she's doing all these things, hosting, writing, acting, consulting.
She even joked that she'd do it all for free.
But she's not cheap.
Of course not.
It's that passion, When you love what you do, it doesn't feel like work.
Bevy's proof that you can make a living doing what lights you up.
Her story is so inspiring. It's like permission to change, to go after what you want, no matter how old you are.
Yeah, it's never too late to start.
And it's not about the end goal, It's about the journey of figuring yourself out.
Enjoying the ride.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Bevy Smith and self-discovery, I have a question for you. Think about your eldest self, the most authentic you can. What would they be like?
What matters to them? What kind of mark do they want to leave on the world?
What makes them come alive? Think about that.
Yeah.
And let Bevy's story inspire you to be your most eldest self. Thanks for joining us.